Hello everyone and welcome back to Star Stable. Today I'm going to be talking about the truth behind beta testing for the new characters. This is kind of like all the behind the scenes information that obviously I couldn't tell you guys beforehand because I did tell you guys some of it, but this is basically like honestly just a way for me to reiterate a couple of things. Like for example, these were copy and paste accounts. We didn't get to keep any of the star coins, but before we get into all of that stuff, I guess I'll talk about all the emails that we received. I'm gonna be as transparent as possible. Like honestly, if I told you guys even how we set up the beta, it probably, like, you literally can't use it anymore. Anyways, the first email that I got, you guys probably saw, but it was my congratulations, you've been selected to test Star Stable Online's new player character. I received this at 1:23 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Friday, September 16th. And it basically just said, out of 50,000 registrations, you've been selected to test Star Stable's new player character along with 150 other players from around the world. You'll be able to check out the new player model, equip different hairstyles, body shapes, face shapes, makeup, clothes, and accessories. They then told us to stay tuned for an email on September 20th, where we'll send along all the details for getting set up, what to test, and how to provide your valuable feedback. Testing will open on September 21st and run until October 3rd. And that was basically everything that I've been told at that point. Now, obviously, I feel like they did actually purposely choose YouTubers, and I think that's because they wanted to make sure that there was gonna, like, when we first signed up to be a beta tester, maybe I should have started with that, but basically about 2 weeks or something, maybe a week before September 16th, they actually gave out a form on their Instagram, possibly on the news page, I can't quite remember, but it was definitely on Instagram, a link to a Google form where you had to apply. You simply put in your email, your character level and everything, because they wanted to get a large range of players to test the new characters, country as well, because lots of different people. And one of the things we had to agree to was we weren't going to talk about anything that Star Stable had given us confidentially, and it sounded like we weren't going to be allowed to actually share any of the beta footage. This, however, changes when Star Stable made the Instagram post. They didn't even put it in the email. They just kind of put it on the Instagram post. They do put it in the second email though, I think. In the Instagram post, they said, luckily our beta testers are free to show their experience with everyone on their social media. So yeah, I think that the reason they specifically chose YouTubers who would create content. So obviously I create Star Stable videos almost every single day, and I've been super in the loop with the characters on my YouTube. So I feel like that might be why they chose certain YouTubers, because they'd already been posting about here's how to sign up to the beta and all the monthly blog posts and everything. So yeah, but I'm not part of the team and they didn't tell me why they specifically chose me as a beta tester. But I think it is way too much of a coincidence for all of the YouTubers to be chosen. Other than that, ambassadors were of course allowed into the program anyways. They were not included as part of the 150. I actually have no idea whether the specific YouTubers they chose were also part of the 150, because overall it also included all the game masters and things like that. So it's really hard to tell, like, actually it might have been 150 random players and then specific YouTubers ambassadors. But anyways, let's move on to the second email I received. So on September 21st, just as they told us, at 2:04 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I received the next email and it said, hi, testing for Star Stable's new player character opens at 1300 CET September 21st. Yay. We're sure you're as excited as we are, so here's how to get started. How do I test it? First of all, you need to set up the beta testing environment. After the testing environment has been installed, you'll be able to log in with the following account name and password. I'm not going to tell you guys those things, but there was a specific email that they gave us and a password and everything. And basically, the actual game that we were on was a completely different installation of Star Stable. So The server was just like a general worldwide server. There was just one server. It was probably based on Sweden time because when it was like morning time for me, it was literally midnight in the game and things like that. I'm not gonna go through all of that because honestly you had to like type in a little codey thing and do a bunch of stuff, and I feel like this might be a reason. Honestly, it's probably a legal reason why they only wanted 16+ year olds to beta test, but also because I feel like honestly there was probably a lot that could have gone wrong with setting up the beta testing environment that people under 16 might have been less likely to figure it out themselves, and it would be difficult for the team to have to respond to so many emails helping people fix the beta testing environment. But it's probably more just a legal matter, you know, like, I don't know. Anyways, alright, the next part of the email said you will not be using your regular Star Stable online accounts for this test. We have created test accounts for you to use, however the characters will be copied from your own live accounts. Unfortunately, the copy that they took of my account was like a couple of days before I spent an hour and a half untacking all of my horses. So during the beta testing, all of my horses were tacked up and it drove me insane. Oh my gosh. You will start with the same look and horses as you would if you logged into your regular Star Stable account. The accounts have been loaded with star coins so that you can try out and purchase any horses or equipment you want during your testing. And then they gave us instructions for what to test. Check out the new player model, play around with different hairstyles, makeup and clothes, change your appearance, and try out the new animations both when you're riding a horse and on foot. Play through some quests to get a feel of the new player character, and most importantly have fun. Unfortunately, because my account is level 22, the only quests I had were daily quests, so I couldn't really experience any main story quests with the new characters. Please remember that the new player character is a work in progress and your feedback is super important. We hope you'll share what you like, what you don't, and everything in between so we can create an experience that you'll love. To share feedback and report bugs, please compile your thoughts into a document and email us at blah. Please only send one document since we won't have time to go through them all otherwise. When reporting an issue to us, please describe what the issue is in as much detail as possible. The description of the bug helps the developer understand what is going on. They actually recently made a blog post about the process of fixing bugs and things like that. One of the bugs that I ran into during beta testing was certain clothing types, like one pair of shorts with one shirt would actually create a really weird glitch type thing. I featured it in some of my other videos, but unfortunately sometimes this happened and sometimes it doesn't, which makes it so hard for them to figure out what is going on. So this goes for anything. If you do need to submit a bug to Star Stable, make sure to actually write. It might help if you say, hey, I'm on PC, blah 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 blah, and what you were doing up to the point that you got the bug, because they basically need to replicate what you were doing to figure out how the bug went wrong so that they can like backstep you and what happened to cause the bug so they can fix it. But yeah, anyways. And they also have an FAQ, which honestly, I feel like they could have done a better job at giving this FAQ because it is available to everyone. They could have done a bit of a better job at actually releasing this and making sure people knew about this FAQ, because the FAQ was super important because part of it says things we're still working on. It's important to remember the character, blah 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 blah. The clothing, saddles and hair are suffering from different levels of clipping. Longer hairstyles collide with the back and shoulders. Many clothes aren't yet fit with the character bodies, and the majority of the saddles are too small at the minute. We're aware and working on it. The animations aren't yet synchronized with all the breeds and need to be adjusted to each body shape, fixing for example arms that can go through the body. You might notice the character is not holding the reins when riding or leading the horse, and the props, objects held by the characters, are attached to the wrist instead of the hand, because immediately when content about the beta test, like the beta characters, started to be released, a lot of people started talking about what they've mentioned is not complete, specifically in this FAQ, and I feel like it got a little bit out of hand at one point, purely just because if they stated this more upfront maybe, or even just beta testers as well. I tried my best once I figured this out to try and like not be too repetitive, but yeah, it's still good to let them know what you want to still be fixed and everything, but it got a bit of out of hand, and terminology that people decided to use and things like that just wasn't constructive. So yeah, the other thing that happened was a lot of people might just not have read the blog post or have forgotten what was said about the new characters all the way back in January blog post. So a lot of people then started talking about the body types, which once again, it's still important to let Star stable know the types of body types you want, but it was very like forceful, some of the people talking about it, and you just might have forgotten that they did say that they wanted to add more body types, but for now they needed to perfect the first 6 before they move on to anything else. Another thing that I noticed was I follow quite a few of the developers on Instagram, and they would be responding in their own comment section to answers of people's questions and statements. Like, for example, before we got the facial animation update, people were saying, I don't like the faces, they look so weird, and the developers were like, well, yes, we are actually working behind the scenes on facial rigging. We've just started the animations, they just haven't been implemented yet. We know the faces look a little bit funny because they're not moving and everything, but like it's going to be changed. So once again, like, you also had to follow a developer or follow someone who would speak about that to actually learn about what is coming in the future of that aspect and what the developers talked about. But yeah, I'm just gonna get a little sidetracked in a way. I don't know. Let's talk about my first day of beta testing. So the first day of beta testing, I ended up pulling an all-nighter. It came out at 9 p.m. for me. And I had my mother and my little brother visiting the next day. They were flying into the city at 11:30. So I wanted to have beta testing content for you guys. I had just spent an entire week pre-filming a bunch of other videos as well. I had such a busy week because I also had a university assignment, or 2 university assignments due in another week. So anyways, I spent the entire night starting to familiarize myself with the beta characters, and I filmed the videos that you saw from Thursday until Sunday. And then on Monday, my little brother and mother left, and I started to film some more beta content. And from then on, I still played in my free time a little bit, even when my family was there. Like, I let my little brother have a look and things like that, you know. And unfortunately, from Monday until Friday, I was then focusing on both university and YouTube videos again, which did still include me playing a little bit of the beta characters. But basically, I then, from Saturday to Sunday, or maybe I don't think I did a ton of Saturday because I needed a break after university, but I still did actually go onto the beta characters just to film a couple of videos. But then from Sunday until Monday, I spent almost every single minute of my waking hour on the beta characters filming the rest of content, because as you guys can see, this is training footage, and yeah, I wanted to basically pre-film a bunch, so even though the beta characters were leaving, I would still have a couple of videos for you guys to watch later on. So quite a few of them are going to be quite short, you know, just 10-minute little snippets and things like that. But honestly, I'm pretty excited to share some of the content that I did film for you guys. Going back in time a little bit, I actually started planning what videos I wanted to film with the beta characters literally as soon as I got the first email. As soon as I found out I was accepted into the beta test, I was writing down video ideas for the next couple of days, anything that came to mind. Unfortunately, I didn't get to film every single idea that I did have, but I really wanted to portray the new characters in a way that everyone would like. You know, some people are role players, some people are trainers, some people are championship people. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to any championships. I suck at championships and getting to them on time. But I guess the training is kind of like that. So yeah, this is why you guys are looking at training right now as well. Like, this is what... Obviously, the animations are unfinished, so honestly, the training animations will look a lot better when they're actually released. But you might notice that I did indeed say roleplay, and there may or may not be one of those in the works. It was really funny though, because on Sunday I actually went into daylight saving, so now I'm in Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and the beta version, they shut down all the servers and everything at almost exactly 10:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Monday. I was live streaming. I did unlist the live stream though, just because I had a bit of technical difficulties, and I just get mad at myself when I have technical difficulties. Like, I just really want to always create good quality content for you guys, and I just get so disappointed when technology is like, oh, you want to plug your camera in? Yeah, no, that's not gonna work for me, and things like that. Anyways, that's beside the point. So yeah, I did spend so much time on the beta character server that I literally haven't been on my normal account in like a week besides the update video, and oh my gosh, is it weird, because I got so accustomed to the new characters, and it is always going to be so sad saying goodbye to the old, but I think I just looked at these characters so much that it's just weird to look at the current characters now. And I feel like the same thing happens with Silverglade, and every single time something changes in Star Stable, you know, everyone is asking for example, a Hollywoods update, but as soon as that happens, you know, we're all going to be like, no, wait, I don't want the old Hollywoods to leave, but then it does, and the new Hollywoods is going to be better and things like that, but like, it's still sad to say goodbye and everything. So anyways, let's continue with some of the emails and stuff. The next email was actually a week into beta testing. It was like a second mini update, which I was not expecting. I honestly didn't think there was going to be any updates to the beta version, but I feel like people were really wanting to see facial animations. So although I believe these had just been started, the team decided to share them with us, and honestly pretty exciting. So it basically just said, you're now 1 week into testing the hashtag new player new me character beta test, and we hope you're enjoying the experience. We're happy to share we've made some adjustments, which include updates to more clothes, an update to the facial rig to allow characters to blink and smile but only visible in some animations for now, new chair in the 4-pinter salon for a better visibility of the hair, plus changes to the idol and the appearance change. And then they just said, we'd love to hear your thoughts, etc, etc, etc. They then sent us one final email which said, we're nearing the end of the new player new me character beta test. When the servers are closed, your unique login details will become inactive and your new player character will be removed. A big thank you from us at Star Stable for your efforts and engagement in helping us test the new player character. We'll be sure to keep everyone updated on our plans across our channels. Stay tuned. So that was all of the emails that I received from Star Stable into the actual beta testing. Like, once again, they gave us 100,000 star coins, but these were a copy paste of our accounts, so I do not keep anything that happened on these accounts. And honestly, I'm really thankful. The reason that they gave us 100,000 star coins was because some people might have still been level 6 or something, because you didn't have to be a star rider to be accepted into beta testing, but you would be given star rider, etc. So some people, you know, I have a completely full closet, but some people didn't like barely have any clothes just because they prefer to spend their star coins on horses, etc, things like that. And obviously to do a proper beta test, because beta testing is like, they want us to find like bugs or like things like that. I don't know, I'm really suck at explaining stuff, but it's hard to properly beta test something if you didn't have all the clothes or the hairs or the horses, and even just to beta test all the different body types. Like, you know, I got to play around with all the different body types, head shapes, eyebrows, and everything like that, because they gave us money for it, star coins for it. So yeah, that's why they gave us star coins. We do not keep any of that stuff. The account has now been deleted. If you try logging into the beta version of the game, then it says invalid login details because everything's been wiped clean. Goodbye to the new character of Cassandra Mcbell, and now begins the super tough wait until at least 2023. Back in a previous post, it said that updates coming in 2023 included the new characters. So the new characters, we cannot expect for them to be updated this year yet, which honestly, in saying that, it's also already October, so the year is almost over. What the heck? I feel like this is kind of a good thing though, because from what we saw of the characters, the animations were a copy and paste. So if they release the characters this year, I feel like it would be a bit of a rushed job, I suppose, and especially with all the clothing glitches and just the body types not quite fitting in all the different animations yet. So yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to be worth waiting even longer to actually see the body types fit themselves individually in all all the clothes and all the animations and stuff. But I think that's going to be the end of this little behind the scenes of the truth about beta testing. The truth about beta testing was it was a pretty solo experience, you know, that actually, I can tell you this, there was an Instagram group made for the beta testers, which we kind of talked in and organized meetups at some points and things like that, but I'm gonna go away now and actually finish writing up my little document to send to the Star Stable team. If you want to check out my top 5 favorite features from the the new characters, go ahead and click the video on the screen right now. This is like kind of a positive look at the characters because I did say a little bit of like, these are the glitches and things like that. This is what I want to see more of still in that video, but I'm also working on a separate video which is like the actual glitches that I experienced during beta testing, so stay tuned for that one as well.